everybody, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and we hope by now you're very excited about football or soccer. This is the World Cup time of year, so this comes every 4 years, actually. And we've got a lesson all about it.
That's right. So as everyone may or may not have heard, we are actually in the middle of the World Cup. And as you say, it's a football or soccer competition. Now, soccer is only used in the United States.
That's right. It's used in the United States, although football can be confusing in a place like Australia, where they have two different games that are called football.
That's right. So it's a little bit difficult at times to tell someone that you play football and they think you play American football or Australian football or soccer. So it's a little bit confusing.
It can be, yeah.
All right, so we have a great lesson all about the World Cup. We're going to explain a little bit, and so let's listen to the dialogue for the very first time.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing? Don't you know what day it is?
No.
It's only the day when the world's biggest sporting event is kicking off.
What?
The World Cup. The first match is today. It's Mexico versus South Africa. It's going to be a really good match. Both teams have a very strong offense and have skilled players. I think that South Africa will probably dominate the first half since they are the host country and all.
I have no idea what you're talking about. The only sporting event we watch at home is the Super Bowl.
This is bigger than the Super Bowl, man. Teams from 32 countries compete against each other every 4 years and fight to win that trophy. They first start in a group stage with 8 groups, each group having 4 teams. The top 2 teams pass on to an elimination stage before going on to the semifinals and the quarterfinals.
Sounds interesting, but soccer doesn't really appeal to me.
Are you kidding? Over 700 million people watched the final match of the 2006 World Cup. It's a very exciting and nerve-wracking sport. Each nation is cheering on their team, hoping they will become the next champion. So far, Brazil is the team with the most titles under their belt. They're really good.
All I know about soccer is that you can't use your hands and that players are always falling down trying to get a free kick or penalty kick. It seems like a sissy sport to me.
Whatever. I'm going to go watch the opening match.
All right, we're back. So obviously, 2 people discussing or fighting over the World Cup and soccer. One of them doesn't really like it. But he came up with some really interesting points and explained a couple of interesting things. So let's take a look at some of that vocab on Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So, okay, the very first phrase here is a very important one. We're talking about sports. This game is called a sporting event.
That's right. So a sporting event is an event, I guess you would say, is a performance or something that happens occasionally, but related to sports.
That's right. So an event can be a game itself or a tournament. You've heard maybe of, well, the UEFA Cup, that's the European Federation of Football or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So basically you have this tournament for European soccer teams, but the World Cup is also an event, and a very important game could also be an event. So this basically means a sporting match or a sporting competition.
That's right. Now it may sound confusing as to why you put the ing in sport. It should be maybe sports event or sport event. But I'm not really sure why we add the gerund to sporting event.
We always just say it this way. It's a set phrase. So let's remember that it's sporting event. This is the world's most important sporting event, for example.
Okay, very good. Now we went in, we talked about the first match, Mexico versus South Africa. And they're talking about the teams and how they both have a very strong offense.
Okay, so offense is a part of the team. Basically, it's a group of players who are trying to score.
That's right.
Okay, so when you're good at offense, it means you're good at scoring. Mm-hmm. And the opposite of offense is what?
Defense.
Defense. So offense, defense.
Mm-hmm.
You can say they have a very strong defense. That means that it's very hard to score against them because their defenders, their goalies, they're all very strong.
That's right. So we're talking about an offense and a defense, both very important parts of a team. And so the guy continued and made a little bit of a prediction saying that South Africa will probably dominate the first half.
Okay, so you know that football matches are split into halves. You have first half and second half. To dominate here means to be stronger than someone else.
So to control the ball or to have possession or to be the one that is the strongest team on the field.
That's right. So you can dominate by having a very strong defense, or you can dominate by having a very strong offense, or both. Dominate means be stronger than.
That's right. Okay, now let's move on to the other guy who doesn't really like soccer. And he says, I have no idea what you're talking about. All I know is that I watched the Super Bowl.
Okay, now this is a very American thing, the Super Bowl.
That's right.
We mentioned earlier that in America, most people call the game soccer, not football. Well, that's because in America, we have a different game called football.
That's right.
And so the Super Bowl is like the most important game in the football world. It's the game that happens every year at the very end of the season.
That's right. So this is what we usually call American football. So you've probably seen it on TV as well. And the Super Bowl is basically the name of the final sporting event of American football. Just like we have World Cup, we have the Super Bowl.
And the winner of the Super Bowl is the best team that year.
That's right. All right, so now let's go on to explain a little bit about how the World Cup works. The guy went on to explain that there are 32 countries competing, and basically we have 3 parts: an elimination stage, a semifinals, and quarterfinals.
Okay, so basically this describes the different levels, because obviously 32 teams can't compete for one trophy at first. You have to make the numbers smaller. So 32 becomes 16, becomes 8, becomes 4, becomes 2.
That's right.
And so we have different groups for these. The first one is the elimination stage, when some teams lose and they go home.
That's right.
And after that, then we have a quarterfinals. So what is quarterfinals?
The quarterfinals are when you have 8 teams that are basically the top 8 teams of the competition, and they will play against one other opponent. So the winner passes on to the next stage, which would be the
semifinals. Well, the math makes sense because quarter has to do with 4, right?
That's right.
So in the quarterfinals, 8 teams become 4. And in the semifinals, 4 teams become 2.
That's right.
And then what happens after the semifinals?
And then we have the final, where basically the 2 top teams will compete against each other, and there will be one champion.
USA! US! And this is when it gets very nationalistic. People are very proud of their countries.
Of course, of course. And so this basically is what happens and how we get our champion. And, well, now let's explain a little bit very quickly about 2 things that happen in the game, during gameplay, when we have a free kick and a penalty kick.
Okay, so a kick, you just kick the ball. But sometimes when the ball goes out of bounds, or when a player is injured or there's a foul, then that player or his teammate can take a special kick. All right, and so a free kick it's just a kick from anywhere, right? A free kick is a kick that you get basically according to the referee, who says, okay, stop the game. He's going to kick from inside the lines.
That's right. So wherever you are fouled, wherever somebody maybe hit you wrong or something happened, from that position you will kick freely towards the goal or wherever you want.
You can pass to your other players as well.
That's right.
But a penalty kick is a bit different because you have to be in a special place when you do it.
That's right. A penalty kick is when you are fouled inside the box, what they call it, is in the area very close to the goalie. So if you commit a foul there, then the other player will receive a penalty kick, and it will just be him against the goalie, and he must kick the ball. I think it's approximately 10 meters, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and this is why it's very dangerous, because you're so close to the goalie and no one can stop you. And so when fouls happen inside that special box, it's usually bad news for the goalie.
Yeah, of course. So this is what happens during a penalty kick, and well, basically you have no defenders, so it's just you, the goalie, and it can get, as you said, very complicated for the goalie. So all right, so we've taken a look at a lot of things on language takeaway. Let's move on now to 3 phrases on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so this is a great word to describe how I felt last week when I watched the England versus America match. I thought it was a nerve-wracking game.
That's
okay? And we heard this in the dialogue, right?
Yeah, you said it was a very nerve-wracking game, or in the dialogue, the guy said it's a very exciting and nerve-wracking sport. So if something's nerve-wracking, what does it mean?
Well, basically, if you break it down, nerves are those things in your body, in your skin, that make you feel. So if someone hurts you, you feel it because of your nerves. So something that is nerve-wracking makes you nervous. It makes you anxious. It makes you feel very sensitive.
That's right. So, of course, the sporting event is so exciting, and you're worried that your country or your team will lose, that you're very nervous and you're very excited, you're very anxious. A lot of things are going on.
Maybe you're sweating, maybe you're drinking a lot. You don't want to know, you don't want to see your team lose, and so you get very nervous.
That's right. And now, of course, if your team is in the World Cup, you are cheering on for your team, or you're cheering them on.
Okay, so this is an interesting phrase because maybe you've heard the word to cheer before, go team, go team.
Yeah.
This is cheering. But we often say, I want to cheer him on. Okay, so this on to me means like, I want to cheer him on to victory. I want to push them towards some goal. And so you hear this a lot. Let's cheer them on. Or he was really cheering me on. Made me feel good. And
Motivating you.
Motivating you. So to cheer someone on. Cheer them on.
All right. So obviously this is why we have cheerleaders, right? Girls that
Give me an A. Give me a B.
These are the girls or the group of girls that cheer teams on.
Or men too. I've seen male cheerleaders.
Yes, that's true. All right. And now when we talked about Brazil, they are the team with the most titles under their belt.
Okay, we're not talking about a real belt here, are we?
No.
Under your belt, or under their belt in this case, means that in their history, they have the most titles.
That's right. I think it may come from boxing or one of those sports where you actually wear a belt that says your title. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, sometimes a boxing belt will have various titles on the belt.
Right, the championship belts.
Yeah.
Because they wear it afterwards. I've never heard that before, but it does make sense. But the important thing to remember here is that it's not just sports. You could say he has 10 years of experience in marketing under his belt.
That's right.
That means he's good. He's experienced at marketing.
That's right. So that's right. As you said, you can use it for work experience. You can use it for titles in work, or maybe in education. You can say he's got 3 master's degrees under his belt.
Wow.
All right. So a lot of great stuff there. We've taken a look at a lot of vocab. So I think we should listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? What am I doing? Don't you know what day it is?
No.
It's only the day when the world's biggest sporting event is kicking off.
What?
The World Cup. The first match is today. It's Mexico versus South Africa. It's going to be a really good match. Both teams have a very strong offense and have skilled players. I think that South Africa will probably dominate the first half since they are the host country and all.
I have no idea what you're talking about. The only sporting event we watch at home is the Super Bowl.
This is bigger than the Super Bowl, man. Teams from 32 countries compete against each other every 4 years and fight to win that trophy. They first start in a group stage with 8 groups, each group having 4 teams. The top 2 teams pass on to an elimination stage before going on to the semifinals and the quarterfinals.
Sounds interesting, but soccer doesn't really appeal to me.
Are you kidding? Over 700 million people watched the final match of the 2006 World Cup. It's a very exciting and nerve-wracking sport. Each nation is cheering on their team, hoping they will become the next champion. So far, Brazil is the team with the most titles under their belt. They're really good.
All I know about soccer is that you can't use your hands and that players are always falling down trying to get a free kick or penalty kick. It seems like a sissy sport to me.
Whatever. I'm going to go watch the opening match.
All right, so the World Cup, as we said, it gathers over 100 million people to watch the final in 2006. Now, this sport is not very popular in North America.
It's not, well, that's not totally true because Mexicans really follow football.
That's right. That's right.
But I think in America, in United States, it is one of the less popular sports. I was thinking the other day, maybe number 5 on our list of popular sports.
Maybe because, well, you have American football, the NFL, you have Major League Baseball, you have the NBA, you have the NHL, and I think maybe before soccer, you probably either have golf or tennis before soccer. Even though the United States does have its own Major League Soccer.
Yep, MLS, Major League Soccer. And my hometown team is Chicago Fire, pretty good team.
I heard they're very good.
And the LA Galaxy, I think, is the other best team in the States.
That's right. Now, the United States did host the 1994 World Cup, and I think this is where a little bit of more interest started to come up, and I think Major League Soccer was formed prior to the World Cup in the United States.
That's right. Well, there's another part of it. I mean, as young people, as children, we almost all played soccer. I played soccer. I know a lot of my friends did as well. It's not popular everywhere, but a lot of people play it. And there's not really an audience for soccer in America once you're in the professional realm. And so the problem is when you pass college, you don't think of it as, the NBA, for example, because there's not as big of an audience. And so people just end up doing their normal jobs as opposed to being professional soccer players.
I think that has a big something to do with it, is the fact that there is not as much money in this sport professionally as, for example, the NBA
or prestige.
Exactly. Although this is the on the other hand, these players that do make it and they really want to play, they go abroad and they go play in the European leagues or something like that.
That's right. I think a lot of the American players who were playing the other day against England were playing against their teammates because so many of the American team, the American national team, play in the English Premier League. It was really awkward.
Well, it's a really great sport, as I think it's one of the most popular sports in many other countries as well, because it's so easy. All you need is a ball, you need a group of people, you put 2 rocks, and you have a goal, and you start playing.
And that's probably why it's the most international sport, because it's very easy to set up. People all over the world love it, and hopefully one day the United States will kind of push it.
Champion.
Yeah, well, I hope this year they'll become champions, but my fingers are definitely crossed because who knows?
All right, so it's a really great topic. We want to know if your country is in the World Cup. Have you ever qualified for a World Cup? There are still many countries who haven't made it. Of course, it's a very small pool. 199 countries compete to qualify for the World Cup, and only 32 make it.
And you can also tell us who you're supporting. We won't judge.
That's right. So we're waiting for your comments at EnglishPod.com. We'll see everyone there.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
To officially begin something. Kick. A step in a process. Stage. Something only appropriate for girls or women. Sissy. Game. Match. One who provides services, etc., as for a convention. Host.
Let's try that faster.
A step in a process. Stage. Something only appropriate for girls or women. Sissy. To officially begin something. Kick. Game. Match. One who provides services, etc., as for a convention. Host.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Stage. There are several stages a team must go through in order to make the finals. Stage. This morning, I finally moved on to the next stage of my video game. Stage. If we start her on these medications, we can cure her because she is still only in the first stages of the illness. Kick. Today, we are kicking off a new line of cosmetics. Kick. At the opening ceremony, we will kick off the beginning of the weekend conference. Kick. The fundraiser's kickoff will be tomorrow at 5 p.m. Match. It's Spain versus Brazil in the final match. Match. I can't make it to the match today, but let me know how it goes. Match. This soccer match is going to be nerve-wracking because it is my school against our rival school across town. Host. The host country put on quite an elaborate show at the opening ceremonies. Host. The host school went wild when the home team won the championship. Host. I hardly got any time to speak to the host of the party because she was constantly running around and talking to the other guests. Sissy. I think soccer is a sissy sport. Sissy. That kid is such a sissy when his mom is around, but he's fine when she's gone. Sissy. The whole camping trip she was being such a sissy about having to sleep on the ground and not being able to shower.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we've got an upper intermediate level lesson for you all about money.
That's right. We are trading money. We're actually negotiating in this very popular topic nowadays, the whole foreign exchange market.
Okay, so we're talking about currency, which is the money of different countries. For
Right.
example, the currency of Ecuador is...
The US dollar. Yeah. Hard to believe, but
What?
true. I'll tell you all about it later.
Okay. Well, the currency of America is also the US dollar. So with that in mind, let's listen to today's dialogue.
Hey, John. I haven't seen you in ages. What's new? What have you been up to?
Pete, nice to see you. Well, on top of the norm, you know, life and kids and work, I've actually gotten into doing some trading.
Trading? You, big guy? What are you trading?
Currencies.
Currencies? As in euros, dollars, pounds, and rupees?
It's called Forex, foreign exchange. The great thing about it is that I don't have to invest a huge amount. I put in a margin deposit and then I can buy and sell up to 100 times that much.
I don't understand. You're buying and selling money?
You got it. Just last night I made $150.
Last night?
Yeah, it's a 24-hour market. I'd bought some renminbi earlier at a low asking price, but last night it appreciated drastically. So I made a split-second decision and sold all of my RMB at an amazing bid. I've also done some trading with Swiss francs and Australian dollars and Hong Kong dollars. I've made some good profits, but I've also suffered some losses. It depends on a lot of factors, just like any other market. In total, I've made about $500 in the past few months.
You're kidding! I'm on. Where do I sign up? All right, we're back. So this guy is trading currencies, as we heard. And, well, we're going to talk about a lot of the specific vocab that he used about this topic. So why don't we take a look at some of those now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
Well, the first thing I think we should talk about is one of the first things that he says, actually. Peter says, I haven't seen you in ages.
I haven't seen you in ages, right. So, obviously, he hasn't seen him in a long time, and that's what in ages means.
That's right. So, we haven't seen each other in ages.
So, what other ways can we use in ages, or the word ages?
Well, you could actually say, it's been ages.
So that means it's been a long time.
It's been a long time, or we haven't gone out for ages.
Okay, so then you can use it with four ages.
4 ages, in ages. So the key word here is ages, which means a long time.
Long time. Okay. And, well, he hasn't seen him in ages, and the guy's like, well, you know what? I've actually gone into trading.
So that means he started doing some trading.
Right. Now, trading is a very broad word because you can trade, as in this case, currencies, which is basically to buy and sell currencies.
But you could also trade stocks, right?
You can trade stocks, or even people that are involved in import-export. They are involved in trading.
Trading. So basically, trading is buying and selling something.
Right. So you're trading. You are exchanging a product for money, or money for a product.
But the difference is you're not actually making any products.
Right. Okay, so that's called trading. You're not really manufacturing anything. You're just exchanging goods and services and money. All right, so that's for trading. Now, moving on, he was explaining how the foreign exchange market works, and he says, I don't have to invest a huge amount. I put in a margin deposit, and then I can buy and sell up to 100 times that much.
So, Marco, here's the question. What is a margin deposit? Because a deposit is basically money that you invest somewhere or that you pay in.
Right. Well, basically, a margin deposit is like a percentage. So he basically puts in a percentage of what he intends to buy. So, for example, a margin deposit of $1,000 might be $1 or $10.
Okay, so maybe if it's $10, you're talking about a 1% margin.
Exactly. So that's what he means by a margin deposit, and that's why he explains that you don't have to have a large amount of money in order to trade in the foreign exchange market. You just put in a margin deposit, and then you can work around that.
Well, it sounds pretty easy, but then he explains some more details about it, and it gets to be a little bit more complicated.
That's right. He explained about how he makes money and how he bought some Chinese renminbi, and then he sold it because it appreciated drastically.
So he bought it when it was cheap, and he sold it when it was expensive. So the price changed.
Right.
So this kind of price change, when something goes from cheap to expensive, it's called appreciating. Appreciation. So the verb is to appreciate.
It's very different from using it in the sense of you appreciate someone, right? Like, oh, I really appreciate you.
Yeah, no, it's very different. We could say this about most goods or investments. For example, my parents bought a house in 1970, and the value of the house has really appreciated over the last 40 years. So now the value is much, much greater.
And actually, just mentioning it while we're on the topic, to appreciate, as you say, is something becomes more expensive. The opposite, when something becomes cheaper or maybe the value goes down, is to depreciate.
Depreciate. So that D at the beginning means it's going down.
Right. Okay, and moving on to our last word for language takeaway. So when he was talking about selling the Chinese currency, he said that he sold it at an amazing bid.
Okay, let's talk about bid here. B-I-D, bid. What does this mean?
So to bid is to place an offer for something.
Okay, so for example, at an auction, when someone is selling many old objects or some art, I can bid $100.
Right.
And maybe someone doesn't accept my bid. But if they do accept my bid, then I pay for it.
Right. So basically, a bid is just another way of saying an offer. You're offering a certain amount of money for that product or that service, and you see it a lot, for example, on eBay, right?
That's right. So eBay is an auction website, basically, and someone who's selling someone can see many bids, and they select the best bid.
Exactly. So that's what a bid is. So that's all we have for language takeaway. Let's move on now to Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Marco, what have you been up to lately? I never see you.
All right. This is actually a very common sentence. What have you been up to? But most English learners don't really understand what it means.
Well, this is a really interesting point because I say this all the time. This is very native, very colloquial. What have you been up to?
It's almost the same as saying, what's up?
What's up? Or where have you been recently? What have you been doing recently?
Right.
How's your life?
Right. So this part, up to, what have you been up to? It doesn't really say much if you translate it literally. But basically it's, what have you been doing? What have you been spending your time on?
So to be up to means to do something, to do.
Right. And there are many other definitions of up to, but in this case, what have you been up to means that. What have you been doing?
So next time you see a friend you haven't seen in a week or two, you can say, what have you been up to?
All right. And John answers, well, on top of the norm, wife, kids, and work. That phrase right there, on top of the norm.
Well, the norm here means the normal. That means basically normal life. I've been working, I've got my kids, my wife, on top of the norm. Just life is normal.
Right. So the norm are the wife, kids, and work. On top of that, I'm actually getting into trading, right? So the normal situation, the normal life is wife, kids, and work. And then he's saying, on top of that, I've actually been doing this.
Exactly.
Okay. And now moving on to when he's explaining again the market and the currencies, he talked about an asking price.
Okay, asking price. This is, remember we were talking about bids? We could say that someone has an asking price, which is the price they would like to receive for an object or a service that they are selling. And so, for example, I'm going to sell my desk. My asking price is $100, $100. Maybe you don't want to pay that much, but my asking price is the way that I'm going to start. That's how much I want for it.
Right. So that's your asking price. That's how much you ideally want to sell it for, but you can negotiate. You are willing to accept maybe a lower offer.
Exactly.
Okay. And what is our last phrase?
A split-second decision. This is really, really important. These words go together very often. Split-second and decision.
Okay, so that basically means that you made a very quick decision.
That's right. Split second. Very fast. It's almost like it's less than a second. And so a split second decision means a decision in no time. It's very, very quick.
So we can actually mix split second with other things, right? For example, so maybe you can say he reacted in a split second and avoided the crash.
Okay, so good for him. He reacted quickly enough to avoid the accident.
That's right. So split second, very fast, very quickly. A split second decision, a decision that was made very fast. Okay, so that's all we have for Fluency Builder. Why don't we go back, listen to this dialogue one more time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more. Hey, John. I haven't seen you in ages. What's new? What have you been up to?
Pete, nice to see you. Well, on top of the norm, wife and kids and work, I've actually gotten into doing some trading.
Trading? You, big guy? What are you trading?
Currencies.
Currencies? As in euros, dollars, pounds, and rupees?
It's called Forex, foreign exchange. The great thing about it is that I don't have to invest a huge amount. I put in a margin deposit and then I can buy and sell up to 100 times that much.
I don't understand. You're buying and selling money?
You got it. Just last night, I made 150 US dollars.
Last night?
Yeah, it's a 24-hour market. I'd bought some renminbi earlier at a low asking price, but last night it appreciated drastically. So I made a split-second decision and sold all of my RMB at an amazing bid. I've also done some trading with Swiss francs and Australian dollars and Hong Kong dollars. I've made some good profits, but I've also suffered some losses. It depends on a lot of factors, just like any other market. In total, I've made about 500 US dollars in the past few months.
You're kidding! I'm on. Where do I sign up?
So, Marco, you have to explain this to me. We're talking about currency today. So every nation has a currency. For example, in the dialogue, we learned that India has rupees.
Pounds are in Britain.
Britain has pounds, and Australia has Australian dollars. America has American dollars. But you just said earlier that Ecuador has American dollars too.
That's right. Actually, Ecuador went through a very difficult economic situation in late 1998, early 1999, where there was hyperinflation. So basically, there was an inflation that was very, very, very large.
So that means that the old currency lost its value very fast.
Exactly. So, for example, if the currency before in Ecuador used to be sucres. So if 10 sucres was $1, all of a sudden it was 50 sucres was $1.
Oh, wow.
So, and it got to the point where goods and services went from 3,000 to $1 to 25,000 to $1.
Oh, okay. So people have bags full of money and it's not really worth anything anymore.
Exactly. So what happened was the central bank couldn't absorb this currency depreciation. They couldn't really regulate prices. Obviously, salaries were about the same, so you have a lot less money comparatively. And so the government decided that there were two options. Either they would follow Argentina's example, what they did a couple of years before, and set a fixed rate. So in Argentina, it's 3 pesos to $1. Or we would just get rid of our currency and just use US dollars.
So that's what they did, right?
They use US dollars, and now if you ever travel to Ecuador, you will use US dollars. The same exact bills that you use in the US are the same exact bills in Ecuador.
So no need to exchange currency.
No need to exchange currency, and that's why I guess there are many factors that people say are a lot better. For example, trading has become a lot less complicated because now you're negotiating in US dollars as in everywhere else in the world. But then other things, as you know, not having a national currency also affect. So there are a lot of things going on, but it's an interesting topic.
Very interesting. Well, so maybe for those of you who are listening, you could tell us about your country and your currency. What do you use? What do you spend money on? And do people buy and trade currencies where you're from?
Exactly. Or maybe you can even enlighten us with with the exchange rate. Maybe usually it's a good question to ask, how much is a liter of milk? Or how much is a haircut?
Right, because these are things that everyone needs, so the price doesn't change that much.
Exactly. We're really curious to know how inexpensive or maybe very expensive your country is. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Something is usual or expected. Norm. The money that a country uses. Currency. The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid.
Let's try that faster.
The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Something is usual or expected. Norm. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. The money that a country uses. Currency.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Norm. What's the norm in this company concerning protocol? Norm. This is the norm, so you'd better get used to it. Norm. Delivery, McDonald's, and street vendors are the norms around here. Currency. Before I went to France, I had to change some of my Canadian currency into euros. Currency. What's the currency in this country? Currency. My country's currency is worth next to nothing in USD. Margin deposit. He decided to start with a margin deposit of GBP 100. Margin deposit. I can't believe that I can trade with USD 1 million deposit when I've only put in a margin deposit of USD 10,000. Margin deposit. One has to be careful with trading using a margin deposit because the risk of losing more money than one has are high. Split second. The gang members were closing in on me fast, so I made a split-second decision to run instead of fight. Split second. My heart pounded as I made a split-second decision and took hold of her hand. Split second. My split-second decision to try a trick on my bicycle in order to impress my friends didn't end well. Bid. The current bid ask for EUR USD is 1.3998-79. Bid. I bought euros at an ask of $1.4235 and sold British pounds at a bid of $1.5001. Bid. The bid for Japanese yen and the ask for Hong Kong dollars are really good right now if you trade in US currency.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Something is usual or expected. Norm. The money that a country uses. Currency. The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid.
Let's try that faster.
The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Something is usual or expected. Norm. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. The money that a country uses. Currency.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Norm. What's the norm in this company concerning protocol? Norm. This is the norm, so you'd better get used to it. Norm. Delivery, McDonald's, and street vendors are the norms around here. Currency. Before I went to France, I had to change some of my Canadian currency into euros. Currency. What's the currency in this country? Currency. My country's currency is worth next to nothing in USD. Margin deposit. He decided to start with a margin deposit of GBP 100. Margin deposit. I can't believe that I can trade with USD 1 million deposit when I've only put in a margin deposit of USD 10,000. Margin deposit. One has to be careful with trading using a margin deposit because the risk of losing more money than one has are high. Split second. The gang members were closing in on me fast, so I made a split-second decision to run instead of fight. Split second. My heart pounded as I made a split-second decision and took hold of her hand. Split second. My split-second decision to try a trick on my bicycle in order to impress my friends didn't end well. Bid. The current bid ask for EUR USD is 1.3998-79. Bid. I bought euros at an ask of $1.4235 and sold British pounds at a bid of $1.5001. Bid. The bid for Japanese yen and the ask for Hong Kong dollars are really good right now if you trade in US currency.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Something is usual or expected. Norm. The money that a country uses. Currency. The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid.
Let's try that faster.
The sum of money required to reinstate. Margin deposit. Something is usual or expected. Norm. Very quickly, just a second. Split second. An offer to pay a particular amount of money. Bid. Taking effect rapidly. Drastically. The money that a country uses. Currency.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Norm. What's the norm in this company concerning protocol? Norm. This is the norm, so you'd better get used to it. Norm. Delivery, McDonald's, and street vendors are the norms around here. Currency. Before I went to France, I had to change some of my Canadian currency into euros. Currency. What's the currency in this country? Currency. My country's currency is worth next to nothing in USD. Margin deposit. He decided to start with a margin deposit of GBP 100. Margin deposit. I can't believe that I can trade with USD 1 million deposit when I've only put in a margin deposit of USD 10,000. Margin deposit. One has to be careful with trading using a margin deposit because the risk of losing more money than one has are high. Split second. The gang members were closing in on me fast, so I made a split-second decision to run instead of fight. Split second. My heart pounded as I made a split-second decision and took hold of her hand. Split second. My split-second decision to try a trick on my bicycle in order to impress my friends didn't end well. Bid. The current bid ask for EUR USD is 1.3998-79. Bid. I bought euros at an ask of $1.4235 and sold British pounds at a bid of $1.5001. Bid. The bid for Japanese yen and the ask for Hong Kong dollars are really good right now if you trade in US currency.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. Hello, everyone. Today, Marco, what are we talking about?
Well, today we are not really in the best mood. Yeah,
What do you mean?
We're kind of sad. We're kind of nervous. We're not feeling very well. Yeah, it's a cloudy day. Maybe that's why.
The blues.
We're the blues. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today. We're going to have a lot of different descriptive words to express maybe feeling sad, or maybe you're angry, or you're nervous, or something like that.
Okay, well, this is a very useful lesson. Hopefully you're not feeling this way, but if you have to talk about someone who is, I've got lots of words for you. But first, we're going to preview a couple in today's vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so today on Vocabulary Preview, we're going to look at two words. And the first one is a way of saying that you feel sad. So basically, I'm feeling down.
Okay, down. You might have heard this before because it's the opposite of the word up.
Exactly.
So you're not feeling up, happy, looking up. You're feeling down. This is another word for sad, like Marco said.
Or you can also say, I'm a bit down today, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit down today. Or you look really down. Are you okay?
Yeah, so you look sad. Are you? Is everything okay? So down. So now another feeling or a way that a person is feeling, maybe that person is grouchy.
Would you please stop talking so loud, Marco?
I think you have...
I'm seriously.
Don't be grouchy, Catherine. Jeez.
No, so grouchy is a way someone acts, usually when they're in a bad mood.
Right. So it's not like really angry. You're not angry, but you're not very happy either.
And you're not very nice to people. So there's a very famous TV character called Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street. Look for him on YouTube or Yoku. And he's very, very good for learning about this feeling, grouchy, because he's a grouchy guy.
Yeah, he's always angry or never happy, basically.
Right, he's always complaining about something. So that word again is grouchy.
All right, so after taking a look at these two words, we're ready now to listen to our dialogue for the first time. Let's see what this dialogue is about, if maybe they're grouchy or maybe just sad.
Fine.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Carrie, are you okay? You seem a bit down.
I just got off the phone with my boyfriend. He's always getting upset and losing his temper over nothing. It's so hard to talk to him at times.
Maybe it's just that he's stressed out from working or something. He does have a pretty nerve-wracking job, you know.
Yeah, but he's always in a really foul mood. I tried to find out what's bothering him, or get him to talk about his day, but he always shuts down and brushes me off.
Men are like that, you know. They can feel nervous, anxious, or on edge, and the only way they can express it is by trying to hide it through aggressiveness.
I guess you're right. What do you think I should do? He wasn't always this grouchy, you know.
Talk to him, try to cheer him up when he's down, and if that doesn't work, I say get rid of him and get a new one.
You are something else, you know that.
All right, so two girls talking about guys. I guess guys have a bad temper sometimes, right?
I think anyone can have a bad temper, but we're talking today about one of the boyfriend of one of these girls who has a very bad temper and has been very grouchy recently.
And that's why she's feeling a bit down. So let's take a look at those words now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so in today's language takeaway, we've got some wonderful words for you. Words that are very good for describing stress or having anxiety. And the first of these words is something you hear all the time, especially with young people.
Right, somebody is stressed out.
Oh my gosh, Marco, I'm so stressed out. I have 10 homework assignments to do and softball practice, and my mom wants me to help cook dinner tonight.
Wow, you really are stressed out.
I am. I don't have any homework, and I don't live with my mom. But being stressed out is usually something you feel when you have too much stuff to do.
So maybe you can be stressed out because of school, like in your case, or maybe at work you have a lot of things to do or a project to finish, right?
Exactly. And I just want to point out here that you can say I'm stressed or I'm feeling stressed, but commonly in spoken English, so when you're talking to your friends, you hear this much more often, stressed out.
Stressed out. He's really stressed out lately. All right. So we're stressed out, or another word that kind of means the same is this is nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking. So nerves are those things in our body that help us feel things, right? And so something that racks our nerves makes us very, very tense, very anxious, very uncomfortable.
Okay, so it makes you very nervous.
Right, so there are some movies that are nerve-wracking. For example, suspense movies like Hitchcock's movies like Psycho or The Birds.
Or like horror, like maybe Saw.
Ooh, nerve-wracking. Also, some people think that roller coasters are nerve-wracking. They're very, very anxious when they ride roller coasters.
Right. So let's listen to a couple of more examples of in different situations where we can use this phrase nerve-wracking.
How was your presentation today?
Oh, it was so nerve-wracking.
Really? What happened?
Just standing in front of so many people made my hands shake.
I get that. Public speaking can be nerve-wracking for sure.
Yeah, and then my slides wouldn't load at first.
Oh no. That must have made it worse.
It did. Waiting for the tech guy to fix it was the most nerve-wracking part.
I can imagine. Did it go okay after that?
Kind of. But I kept thinking I'd forget what to say.
That's tough. Did anyone notice?
Probably not, but it felt like they could. It was just so nerve-wracking.
Well, at least it's over now. You survived.
Barely. But honestly, it's a huge relief.
Next time, it won't feel as nerve-wracking. You'll get the hang of it.
I hope so. I need to work on staying calm.
And there's another way to describe this feeling again. It's a little bit different, but very, very similar. We can say someone is feeling on edge.
On edge. So this person was feeling on edge, but what does that mean exactly? You're like at the edge?
Why do you have to ask so many questions? Okay, listen. This is basic. Okay, Marco?
All right, all right.
Are you mocking me?
On edge today.
All right, so someone who is on edge is easily angered, right? So it's very easy to make this person upset or angry. Someone who just quit smoking might be on edge. That means it's very, very easy to get them to be upset.
Wow. So yeah, you are on edge, right?
Exactly. He's on edge, or he seems on edge, doesn't he?
Okay, very good. Wow, these three words that we've just looked at are really interesting and very, very useful. I guess you can describe many different situations or a person that's going through these feelings, right?
Absolutely. I think there is 1,000 ways to describe being nervous or anxious or upset. So maybe we should take another listen to today's dialogue and figure out how exactly we use these words. And when we come back, we'll be talking about some other phrases that are useful.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Carrie, are you okay? You seem a bit down.
I just got off the phone with my boyfriend. He's always getting upset and losing his temper over nothing. It's so hard to talk to him at times.
Maybe it's just that he's stressed out from working or something. He does have a pretty nerve-wracking job, you know.
Yeah, but he's always in a really foul mood. I tried to find out what's bothering him, or get him to talk about his day, but he always shuts down and brushes me off.
Men are like that, you know. They can feel nervous, anxious, or on edge, and the only way they can express it is by trying to hide it through aggressiveness.
I guess you're right. What do you think I should do? He wasn't always this grouchy, you know.
Talk to him, try to cheer him up when he's down, and if that doesn't work, I say get rid of him and get a new one.
You are something else, you know that.
All right, great. So now that we're back, we can start with a couple of different phrases now on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, so Marco, here's the big question. What makes you lose your temper?
I think what makes me lose my temper very, very easily is like a dirty house or like a dirty room.
Really? You're a neat freak.
Not really neat freak, but like if it's not at least semi clean, you know, it really bothers me.
Okay, so this great phrase, lose your temper or lose one's temper, is a phrase we use in English to describe getting angry. All right, so maybe you're okay, you're a little frustrated with something, but someone does something like throws all of their clothes on the floor. And Marco here says, oh, that's it. I'm tired of this. You're always throwing your clothes on the floor. And that's an example of Marco losing his temper.
What about you? What makes you lose your temper?
You hear this?
What is that? Oh, drilling? Construction?
When
hammering?
people tap, 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 or when they like stomp their feet, or
like when they're nervous.
When they make noise, yeah. And so slowly it's like, okay, fine, calm down. It's okay. Okay, no, seriously, stop it. Seriously. And then all of a sudden, I just can't stand it anymore.
You explode.
Exactly. So.
All right. So that's what makes you lose your temper. I'll be sure to keep my eye out for that and not tap my pen.
Don't.
All right. So okay, you lose your temper, and now there are situations sometimes where you need to brush someone off.
All right, or when you get brushed off, and that's not very good feeling. But this phrase, to brush someone off, you've heard the word brush before. It's the word that we use to brush your hair or brush your teeth, exactly. When you brush someone off, it's like saying that you're ignoring them.
Yeah, so you ignore them or you basically tell them to go away very subtly sometimes or very directly.
Exactly. And so to brush someone off is to avoid their company. And so a lot of times when people are angry, they like to be alone, so they brush you off. Mm-hmm. So I could say, hey, did you want to go see that movie tonight?
No, I can't. I have to do something tonight.
And then Marco walks away while we're talking. He's brushing me off. He's ignoring me.
Yeah. So it happens. And also maybe some people can make up excuses, and that's also brushing someone off, right?
Right, exactly. So to brush someone off, or he brushed me off, doesn't feel good.
All right. And well, all of these bad feelings, brushing somebody off, maybe you feel stressed out. In the end, you always need a good friend to cheer you up, right? And that's what this dialogue is all about.
Exactly. And so friends are actually the people that do that the best, or family, I think. And, we can break this phrase down because most of it's pretty clear, but cheer might be a new word for some of our listeners.
Yeah, maybe we've heard of the term cheerleader. Like, give me an A, give me a B.
Hey.
So cheer, or people
cheers.
cheering. Or cheers when the beer, yeah.
So cheer is like happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So someone who can cheer you up is someone who makes you happy. Remember
again.
that down we had earlier? I'm feeling down.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to cheer someone up. We're trying to make them go up and be happy.
Exactly. So you want to cheer up your friends, or maybe if you're feeling a bit down, a family member will try and cheer you up.
Do you need someone to cheer you up, Marco?
Yes, I do.
Well, let's go have a drink and eat some popcorn and be cheered up.
That's what cheers me up. Or chocolate always cheers me up.
Oh, I know where there's some of that.
All right, so we've taken a look at a lot of great phrases, but the last sentence of the dialogue is maybe a little bit strange, right? When she says, "You are something else." You know that?
Something what? Like
is she an
monkey?
alien? Is she a monkey? What does she mean when she says, "You are something else"?
That's a great question. Well, this might be a little bit hard to understand at first, but she's saying, I can't believe you. Mm-hmm. She's like, there's no one like you. You're really something else, you know that? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a joke, but what she's saying is, I can't believe you. You just want to go on and encourage me to find another boy. You're unbelievable.
So it could be, is it on a positive note, or can it be both positive and negative?
Well, here we've got two friends who are using it, so it's a positive note, but she's kind of making fun of her, saying, I can't believe you. Mm-hmm. But it can be
negative.
It can be more negative.
Fighting with her boyfriend and her boyfriend cheats on her, and she's like, oh, you're really something else, you know?
You are something else, you know that? It's like, there's no comparison, you're the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it really depends on how this is used and what the tone of voice is, so how someone says it. But in this case, I think it's kind of a joke, but it's a positive meaning.
Very interesting. It's very spoken English, as you say, because all the words that we see there, they're pretty simple, but the context or the connotation, the meaning is very, very different from the actual words.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. All right, so let's listen to this dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Carrie, are you okay? You seem a bit down.
I just got off the phone with my boyfriend. He's always getting upset and losing his temper over nothing. It's so hard to talk to him at times.
Maybe it's just that he's stressed out from working or something. He does have a pretty nerve-wracking job, you know.
Yeah, but he's always in a really foul mood. I tried to find out what's bothering him, or get him to talk about his day, but he always shuts down and brushes me off.
Men are like that, you know. They can feel nervous, anxious, or on edge, and the only way they can express it is by trying to hide it through aggressiveness.
I guess you're right. What do you think I should do? He wasn't always this grouchy, you know.
Talk to him, try to cheer him up when he's down, and if that doesn't work, I say get rid of him and get a new one.
You are something else, you know that.
So, Catherine, are you a grouchy person? Are you happy? Do you have a bad temper?
Oh, these are, well, very interesting questions, Marco. Thank you for asking. No, the first time, am I grouchy? No, not very. Only before 9 a.m.
You're not a morning person.
Not a morning person, so I'm very grouchy in the morning. But I'm generally pretty good about losing my temper. It doesn't happen very often.
Oh, really?
But I do get frustrated with things like tapping, or when people eat with their mouth open.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. I hate that as well.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Or I really don't like when people bite their nails.
Ooh,
it's kind of, it also makes me lose my temper. I don't know, it more than makes me lose my temper, it's kind of annoying, right?
It is annoying. So what makes you really lose your temper? We say, what makes you blow your top? Think about a volcano.
Really grinds my gears.
Yeah.
I would say the worst is when somebody lies to me, like straight in my face. Like, I know they're lying, I know you're lying, and they still just lie straight at me.
I agree. So what's something that really cheers you up? Because we talked about like going out with a friend maybe helps you cheer up, but is there one thing, some kind of remedy?
I like to go shopping when I'm feeling a bit sad. Yeah. I mean, I won't buy anything like clothes or anything like that. Usually I'll get maybe something for somebody else or for the house or something like that. It's very strange.
Helps you like clear your mind.
Yeah, it's just like walking around and spending a little bit of money. I don't know. It's kind of a good remedy.
Yeah, I think so.
What about you? What cheers you up?
I kind of like to organize things.
Really?
Yeah. So if I'm really angry or really upset about something, I'll alphabetize all of my books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so A to Z.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Feeling sad, not happy.
Down in the dumps.
Sad or unhappy.
Down.
Having sad feelings or emotions.
Have the blues.
To feel very worried or anxious.
Stress out.
To fluster, unnerve.
Rattled.
Causing a person to feel very nervous.
Nerve-wracking.
Makes me angry, upsets me.
Grinds my gears.
Refuse to talk about something with someone.
Brush me off.
Upset, very angry.
Pissed off.
To make someone happier.
Cheer up.
Let's try that faster. Causing a person to feel very nervous.
Nerve-wracking.
Sad or unhappy.
Down.
Having sad feelings or emotions.
Have the blues.
Refuse to talk about something with someone.
Brush me off.
Upset, very angry.
Pissed off.
Feeling sad, not happy.
Down in the dumps.
To fluster, unnerve.
Rattled.
Makes me angry, upsets me.
Grinds my gears.
To make someone happier.
Cheer up.
To feel very worried or anxious.
Stress out.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Down. Ben is feeling a bit down today since his girlfriend broke up with him. Down. Are you okay? You seem down today. Down. Whenever I'm feeling down, I go out with my friends and then I feel much better. Stress out. David has been really stressed out lately. His boss is putting a lot of pressure on him in his new job. Stress out. I can't talk right now. I'm stressed out about this exam I have tomorrow. If I don't pass it, my dad is going to kill me. Stress out. Are you okay? You seem to be really stressed out lately. What's going on? Nerve-wracking. I think being a doctor is one of the most nerve-wracking jobs in the world. Nerve-wracking. Skydiving was one of the most nerve-wracking experiences of my life. I almost had a heart attack. Nerve-wracking. The final match between Brazil and Italy was incredibly nerve-wracking. Brush me off. When she told me my project would be a better television film than a feature film, I thought she was brushing me off. Brush me off. I asked her out on a date many times, but she always brushed me off, making up some excuse. Brush me off. Carolyn went to the doctor without an appointment, and the receptionist brushed her off and told her to come back the next day. Cheer up. I hate it when people try to cheer me up when I feel sad. I just want to be left alone. Cheer up. I don't know what else to do. I've tried everything to cheer Mandy up, but she won't stop crying. Cheer up. You know what really cheers me up when I'm sad? Shopping.